Here I come, 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 here I come! With a story. It's your crazy Uncle Tommy. Hi everybody, it's me, your crazy Uncle Tommy. Pull up a chair or a blanket and listen. This is a story about Jack and the magic beanstalk. Once upon a time, there was a poor old widow who had only two things in the world: her young son named Jack and a dairy cow named Milky White. And all they had to live on was the milk that the cow gave every morning, which Jack carried to the market and sold. But one morning, Milky White ran out of milk, and they didn't know what to do.
What shall we do? What shall we do? Oh, what in the world shall we do? If we don't do something, we'll surely starve,
said the widow.
Please, Mother, don't be so melodramatic. I'll go get some work somewhere,
said Jack.
We've tried that before, and nobody would take you. We must sell Milky White, and with the money, start a shop or something.
All right, Mother, it's market day today, and I'll sell Milky White, and then we'll see what we can do.
So he took Milky White's halter in his hand, and he started off. He hadn't gone very far when he met a funny-looking old man who said to him, "Good morning, Jack."
Good morning to you,
said Jack, as he wondered how the old funny-looking man knew his name. "Well, Jack, where are you off to?"
I'm going to the market to sell our cow.
Oh, you look like right the proper sort of chap to sell a cow as fine as one as that one there. I wonder if you know how many beans makes 5.
What?
I said I wonder if you know how many beans make 5.
2 in each hand and 1 in your mouth?
Jack said, as sharp as a needle.
Right you are, and here they are, the very, very magical beans themselves,
he said as he pulled some very strange-looking beads out of his pocket.
As you have already shown me that you are so sharp, I wouldn't mind doing a little swap with you. Your fine cow there for these beans here.
No way. Sell Milky White for a handful of beans?
Milky White? That's a fine name for a cow. But obviously you don't understand what these magical beans are. They're magical beans, these magical beans. And if you plant them overnight, by morning they'll grow right up to the sky. To the sky, I tell you, to the sky, because they're magical beans.
Really? You don't say.
Yes, I do. But I see by your chin that you're not too interested. Tell you what, Jack, I'll make you a deal that you cannot refuse. If what I say does not turn out to be true, then you can have your cow, Milky White, back.
How did you know my name?
What's your name?
You said it like 3 times.
I did? What's your name, Beans?
No, Jack.
Oh, I call everybody Jack until I know their real name. Well, do we have a deal, Jack?
Okay, deal.
Don't worry about your cow, Milky White. She'll be in good hands.
Goodbye, old girl,
Jack said as he handed over Milky White's halter and pocketed the beans. Well, Jack raced home, excited to tell his mother about the great news and to show her the magic beans. And she was certainly surprised to see him back so soon.
Back already? Well, I see you haven't got Milky White with you, so you must have sold her. How much did you get for her?
You never guess, Mother. I got such a deal that I'm so excited to tell you about it.
But before she could answer, Jack showed her the beans.
I got these beans for her. They're magical. All we have to do is plant them in the ground overnight and...
What? How could you be such a fool as to give Milky White away for 5 worthless little beans?
With that, she grabbed the measly handful of beans that Jack was so proud of and tossed them out the window.
I should toss you out with them. Go to your room, and not a sup shall you drink, and not a bit shall you swallow until morning.
So Jack was sent upstairs to his tiny little room in the attic. He was sad and sorry, as much for his mother's sake as for the loss of his supper. He tossed and he turned all night long, angry about selling Milky White to that funny old man. But at last he dropped off to sleep. When he woke up, Jack jumped up and dressed himself. He was gonna find that old man and demand his cow back. But before he started downstairs, something caught his eye, just outside his window. Why, the beans his mother had thrown out the window had sprung up into a gigantic beanstalk, which went up till it reached the clouds in the sky. That funny strange man had spoke the truth after all. The beanstalk was so close to Jack's window that all he had to do was open his window and jump onto it, which he did. Jack jumped onto the beanstalk and started to climb. And he climbed, and he climbed. He climbed until he came to the top of the clouds, and what he found up there was a long road going straight as a dart. So he jumped off the beanstalk onto the road and started to walk till he came to a great big house, with a great big tall woman standing out in front of it.
Good morning, Mum. Could you be so kind as to give me some breakfast? I've been climbing and walking and climbing and walking and climbing and walking all morning, and I didn't get any supper last night, so I'm starving.
It's breakfast you want, is it? Well, boy, it's breakfast you'll be if you don't move off from here. My man is an ogre, and there's nothing he likes better than boys broiled on toast. So you better be moving on before he gets home.
Oh, please, Mom, do give me something to eat, Mom. I've had nothing to eat since yesterday morning. I may as well be broiled and spread on toast because I'm dying of hunger.
Well, I know you don't mean that, but if it's breakfast you want, it's breakfast you'll be. I mean have. Follow me into the kitchen. After all, if my man returns and eats you, it'd be better to fatten you up beforehand.
And with that, she gave him a hunk of bread, some cheese, and a jug of milk.
Eat, boy, eat. Eat faster.
Jack hadn't half finished when the whole house began to tremble with the noise of something coming. Something or someone coming.
It's my man. If he finds you, he'll surely eat you up as a snack. Come quick, jump in here.
That's your oven.
Yeah, that's the one place he'd never look for a young boy. That's the one place he'd never look, period.
She didn't want to discuss it any longer, so she picked Jack up and tossed him into the oven just as the ogre came in. The ogre was huge. At his belt he had 3 calves strung up by their heels, and he unhooked them and threw them down on the table.
Here, wife, broil me a couple of these for breakfast. I would have preferred a young boy on my toast. But, wait, what is that I smell? Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll have his bones to grind my bread.
Nonsense, dear. You're dreaming. Or perhaps you smell scraps of that little boy you like so much for yesterday's dinner.
That boy was tasty. Garlic ginger sauce, right?
You know your sauces. Now go, wash up, and by the time you come back, your breakfast will be ready for you.
So off the ogre went. And Jack was just about to jump out of the oven and run away when the woman told him not to.
Wait till he's asleep. He always has a doze after breakfast.
Jack didn't fully trust her, but he also didn't want to be caught by the ogre, so he stayed hidden in the oven. Well, the ogre returned after pretending to wash up. He sat and he ate his breakfast, making horrible noises the whole time. After the ogre had his breakfast, he went to an enormous chest and took out a couple of bags of gold. He put them on the table and started to count the coins till he fell asleep. Jack crept from the oven, and he passed the ogre, and as he passed the ogre, he took one of the bags of gold under his arms and ran on his tiptoes as fast as he could till he reached the beanstalk. Then he threw down the bag of gold.
Look out below!
Then he climbed down and down and down until he got home and showed his mother the gold that had landed in her garden.
Well, Mother, see? I was right about the beans. The old man didn't lie to me. They were magical. See?
Well, Jack and his mother lived on that gold for a very long time. But on the day it all ran out, Jack made up his mind to try his luck one more time at the top of the beanstalk. So the next morning, he rose up early, jumped onto the beanstalk, and he climbed 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 and he climbed. He climbed all the way up till he got to the top of the clouds again. He jumped onto the cloud and went down the road until he found the ogre's house one more time. And standing outside was a great tall woman.
Good morning, Mum.
Go away, boy, or else my man will eat you for breakfast. Hey, aren't you the boy who came here once before? That very same day my man missed one of his bags of gold.
I wish I could tell you something about that, but I am so hungry that I can't speak till I've had something to eat.
Well, the big tall woman was so curious that she gave Jack something to eat. But as soon as Jack began to munch on his breakfast,
Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll have his bones to grind my bread.
but the ogre didn't see Jack, who had jumped inside the oven again. The ogre had a breakfast of 3 broiled oxen, and after complaining about not being able to catch a young boy that morning, he called to his wife.
Wife, bring me the goose that lays the golden eggs.
His wife brought it, and the ogre commanded the goose by saying,
Lay.
and just like that, the golden goose laid an egg all of gold. Well, it wasn't long before the ogre fell asleep at the table again, and once again he began to snore, shaking the whole entire house. Jack crept out of the oven and grabbed hold of the golden goose and took off faster than a shot. But geese aren't as quiet as a bag of gold, and the goose gave a cackle, which woke the ogre. And just as Jack got out of the house, Jack could hear the ogre calling,
Wife, what have you done with my golden hen?
But that was all that Jack heard, for he ran as fast as he could to the beanstalk and climbed down it like his house was on fire. When he reached the ground, he showed his mother the wonderful goose.
Lay.
And it laid a golden egg.
Lay.
And it laid another egg.
Lay again.
And another.
Lay one more time.
And another.
I lied. Lay again.
It kept laying golden eggs.
And another. Lay it. One more time for Mom.
Every time Jack said,
Lay.
the goose laid another pure golden egg.
Lay me a golden egg. Lay it, lay it, lay it.
Well, Jack wasn't content with just having a goose, so it wasn't long before he wanted to have another try up there, at the top of the beanstalk.
Yeah.
So the very next morning, Jack got up early, jumped onto the beanstalk, and he climbed 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 and he climbed, till he got to the top. But this time, he didn't go straight to the ogre's house, because he knew the ogre's wife wouldn't want to help him again. So when he got near the house, he waited behind a bush till he saw the ogre's wife come out with a pail and some water. Then he crept very quietly into the house and hid behind a box. Well, he hadn't been hiding there very long when he heard, and in came the ogre and his wife.
Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll have his bones to grind my bread. I smell him, wife. I smell him, I do. He is around here somewhere, wife. Find him. I want him for breakfast.
Do you? Well, if it's that little rogue that stole your gold and the goose that laid the golden eggs, then he's sure to be in the oven.
So, both the ogre and the woman rushed to the oven to catch Jack. But Jack wasn't there. He was behind the box.
Maybe you're smelling the boy I broiled you up for your breakfast this morning. How forgetful I am, and how careless you are not to know the difference between a live and dead boy after all these years. Oh, you just crack me up. You crack me up crazy.
Well, the ogre sat down to breakfast, and he ate, and he ate, and he ate. And after breakfast was over, he called out,
Wife, bring me my golden harp.
She brought it and put it on the table.
Sing, harp, sing.
And the golden harp did just that. It sang beautifully, and it continued to sing until the ogre fell asleep. Jack very quietly got down on his hands and knees, Like a mouse, he crept till he came to the table. Then, as quietly as he could, he grabbed the golden harp and dashed to the door with it. But the harp wasn't as quiet as a bag of gold, and the harp was much smarter than the goose. So the harp called out,
Master! Master!
and that woke the ogre up, just in time to see Jack running away with his magical harp. Jack ran as fast as he could, but the ogre came rushing after him.
Master! Master!
I'm gonna catch you, boy. And when I do, I'll grind you up and smear your bony body on my toast.
When Jack got to the beanstalk, the ogre had already gained on him, and the ogre swiped at Jack. But Jack jumped onto the beanstalk and began climbing down as fast as he could. Since Jack had been up and down the beanstalk several times before, he was quicker than the ogre, who had to take his time.
Mother! Mother! Bring me an axe! Mother, please bring me an axe so I can chop down this beanstalk! Bring me an axe, Mother! Mother! Bring me an axe!
His mother came rushing out with an axe, but when she looked up, she froze with fright, for she saw the angry ogre climbing down after her little boy Jack.
It's a giant! It's a giant ogre!
Jack jumped down off the beanstalk and grabbed the axe from his mother. He gave a chop and another chop at the beanstalk. The ogre was still very high up, and when he felt the beanstalk shake and quiver, he stopped to see what was the matter. But Jack wasn't going to stop chopping. Chop, chop, chop. Jack chopped at the stalk with the axe until the beanstalk broke. Well, the ogre fell down, and he broke his crown, and the beanstalk came tumbling after.